After 7 years, the next mainline installment in the fantastic Borderlands series is almost upon us, but what do you need to know about it? Today I'll be running down everything we know and you should know about Borderlands 3. First, let's touch upon the story. Borderlands 3 takes place roughly 7 years after Borderlands 2, with the recent DLC Commander Lilith and the fight for Sanctuary leading nicely into the third entry. With Handsome Jack now well and truly dead, that's given the chance for a new villain to rise up. Well, villains actually, with the Calypso twins Troy and Tyreen posing a new threat. The Calypso twins are especially dangerous as they are, thanks to Tyreen, siphoning power from others, even potentially siren abilities. Together they control a new cult called the Children of the Vault, managing to unify the bandit clans, convincing them they're their gods and saviors and believe the vaults are there right alone. The duo are based off of obnoxious streamers running events like live screams and let's phrase to amp up their audience. As with every Borderlands title, you have the option of 4 brand new Vault Hunters to play as, and it will be their job to learn more about the Children of the Vault and race against the twins to find the vaults dotted around various planets. These characters are Mose the Gunner, who can digistruct and pilot a mech, Amara the Siren, who can smash enemies with ethereal fists, Flak the Beastmaster, whose pets prey upon bandits, and Zane the Operative, who uses gadgets to cause chaos on the battlefield. Unlike in the previous entries, you'll have 3 action skills available to you instead of just 1, and as you progress through the skill trees, these action skills can be augmented and improved. What this essentially means is that you could have 2 players playing as the same character, but it could play quite differently with varying action skills to each other. Zane also has a unique attribute in that he can equip 2 action skills at once at the cost of using grenades. So that's the new playable characters, but what about some of the returning ones? The previous Vault Hunters from the first 2 games will all play a key role in the story, but we'll also see characters from Tales from the Borderlands such as Reese, although Troy Baker won't be returning to voice the character. In fact, Reese won't be the only one receiving a new voice actor, as Claptrap, the most recognisable face from the series, has a different one as well. Without opening up a whole can of worms, this is due to a dispute between Gearbox's Randy Pitchford and David Eddings, resulting in him not reprising his role. Despite this, the new voice actor does a surprisingly good job, managing to mimic the original actor relatively well. With the Vault Hunters tasked with trying to find vaults across various worlds, you won't be relegated to just Pandora like 1 and 2, with a number of planets you'll be able to travel to that will have vastly different environments. For example, Promethea has quite a futuristic neon appearance compared to the wasteland of Pandora. Of course, to get to these various planets you'll need a spaceship, and that spaceship happens to be the new Sanctuary, aptly named Sanctuary 3. Here you'll be able to do things like buy upgrades from Marcus, change your appearance, customize your quarters, recover lost loot thanks to a new feature, gamble at Moxie's, speak to various characters, and conveniently buy ammo, which can now be done at the push of 1 button. When you're out on missions, you'll have more zany guns to loot than ever before, including at least 2 additional manufacturers that we have confirmed so far. The first being the aforementioned Children of the Vault that seemingly replaces Bandit, whose weaponry has infinite ammo but unpredictable overheating, and the second being Atlas, which returns from the first game. Additionally, the weapon type Slag is now replaced by the new type Radiation that functions similarly to Slag but also causes damage over time, even spreading from enemy to enemy. Aside from a new type, some guns will have alternate fire modes, with the gameplay reveal showing us a pistol that could switch from standard bullets to micro missiles. You'll need all the weapons and options you can take, as there'll be way more bosses this time, with many having multiple stages. If you're a solo player, you can at least rest a little easy, however, as not only can you revive NPCs, they can revive you. Borderlands 3 also makes some small notable changes to other aspects, one of these being a new improved movement system. This means you'll be able to mantle up ledges as well as slide, allowing you to quickly get into cover or through small gaps. These are mechanics that have existed in numerous other games for a long time, however it's still nice to see little quality of life features such as this make their way into the series to further streamline the experience. Many of you who have played Apex Legends will know how helpful and polished the ping system is, wondering how you played a cooperative shooter without it. Gearbox have recognised how good of a feature it is, allowing you to ping things such as enemies and chests to communicate easily with your co-op buddies, even without a mic. On top of that, there'll be numerous emotes you can use, and this is another great example of one of the new ways you can communicate with others, not to mention express yourself. Whilst we're on the topic of cosmetic items like emotes, let's briefly clear the air in regards to microtransactions, as there was a little bit of confusion as to whether they would be in Borderlands 3. After all, Randy Pitchford during the reveal plainly stated there wouldn't be any. He however misspoke in saying that, as there will indeed be microtransactions, but it will be cosmetic only and not pay to win. In fact, they'll be quite similar to the microtransactions in Borderlands 2, so if you were fine with them then, you'll be fine with how they are handled here. If you're familiar with previous entries, you'll know looting can sometimes be a frustrating task when you have teammates who are fighting to pick out first. Thankfully, loot instancing is now a thing, allowing each player to have completely different loot drop for them alone and for their individual level, meaning you no longer need to argue who gets that legendary weapon. There will also be level scaling, so you can happily jump into another higher level player's world without worrying about being destroyed by everything. If however you do want to play the old school way, you can opt for classic mode where these features are turned off. You can pick up the game on the 13th of September for the PS4, Xbox One and PC. If you plan to buy it on PC, it's worth noting that it is sadly an Epic Store exclusive until 2020. Much the same as a handsome collection, there will be PS4 Pro, Xbox One X and HDR support. While details are scarce, Gearbox have previously said they intend to offer two distinct modes. One that favours resolution and one that favours frame rate, which would be great to have as not enough games give you that option. They have also expressed they are targeting 60 FPS on the Xbox One X as opposed to 30 FPS on the other consoles. While the PS4 Pro wasn't specifically mentioned, they may also be targeting 60 FPS for it as well. When it comes to the game's length, the creative director Paul Sage stated, "If you beeline it through, and I mean beelining it through, it might take you 30 hours to complete the main story. So provided you take your time and delve into some of the side content, you should be able to get 40 to 50 hours of gameplay, no problem." In terms of the end game, Borderlands 3 replaces Badass rank with a similar but improved Guardian rank, which becomes available to you after you beat the main story, and like Badass rank, allows you infinite progression. Through this, you'll not only be able to upgrade the stats of all characters universally on your account, but obtain new skills and skins. That about wraps up everything you need to know about Borderlands 3 before release. Let me know who you plan to play as and what your favourite new feature is. That's it for today. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like, subscribe and hit the bell icon for a notification each time a video goes live. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.